me at an airport, the Minneapolis airport to be precise. My flight's been delayed. Why not give a little update, you know? It's late at night. I don't know what time I'm going to get home, but yeah, coming back from North Dakota. Had a killer week hunting ducks with some buddies in North Dakota. I've got some stuff I've been filming that I'll have out on that here soon. Stayed at the Grand Slam Swan Lodge in Pettibone, North Dakota. You should look it up. It's a killer lodge, super central to a lot of great spots to hunt. But yeah, so just kind of traveling all day today, and it's not fun. They're still hunting. They still got a couple days to hunt, and I'm going home early because trick or treat is tomorrow night or the night after. I can't remember, but got to be home in time for trick or treat with the kids. But yeah, so here we are. Thought I'd talk a little bit about the hunt. The nice thing is you know, just in time for the rut. The rut is on big time in southern Ohio right now. Bucks are chasing everywhere. If you've got trail cameras out, you're probably seeing the same thing. Seeing a lot of, we've seen for like 2 weeks little bucks kind of trying to chase does and stuff, but it's really kind of starting to come to, you know, it's getting pretty serious. So just in time for that. So this weekend, going to try to hit that. And you know, I don't have a target buck this year. By the way, this is just going to be like the flow of my thoughts right now. So if you don't want to watch this, that's fine. But I guess my thinking is, generally for the last few years, I've had target bucks that I've chased. I found a nice mature buck that I wanted to chase, and so what I would do is, you know, really focus on that one deer, and I really don't have that this year. I do have several decent bucks on camera. I know of a couple big deer, a couple mature bucks close to our property, and I don't know. Our woods are easily connected to 100 parcels, and who knows what could walk by and cross the street or whatever and get onto our place, or just our woods. We're surrounded by a ton of woods. I mean, we've got, I don't know how much contiguous forest there is right there, but probably a couple thousand acres. And yeah, we'll see what walks by. I do have a 12 point that's on camera that I think is probably about 3.5, probably 130-ish. I'm afraid a neighbor's probably going to shoot him, or somebody down the road will probably try to shoot him if they see him. You know, who knows? It's all luck of the draw here, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna try not to. If he walks in front of me and I want to shoot him, I'll shoot him. I don't care about score. I think score is cool. I think a big buck is cool. But I really try to stay away from, I'm not going to shoot anything under 155. If it's, you know, to me, if it's the biggest deer you've ever killed, you should probably kill it. If it's not the biggest deer you ever killed and it gets your heart pounding out of your chest, you should probably kill it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna just try to have fun with it this year. I'm taking it dead serious, but you know, I don't want it to consume me. I don't want the pride of it all to consume me. So yeah, I'm going to try to have more fun with it this year. I'm trying to hunt with more people this year. I hunt by myself all the time, and I'm really trying to change that. And I think this duck hunt was a good step in the right direction for that. My dog, Sadie, just passed. She was a 12-year-old black lab. I've made the video, I've re-edited it 100 times, and eventually I'll put out this little kind of tribute video to her. But yeah, long story short, I had this dog before I got married. This dog lived with me before my wife did, and it was my first dog, my first duck dog, and really my first just dog. Growing up, we had dogs, but they were the family's dogs, and it wasn't mine. And she was. My good buddy Chad Sloan found her. He had a friend who had some labs for sale, and he called me up and said, "Hey, are you still looking for a lab?" I had absolutely no money. I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. And Chad called me and said, "Hey, I think I found like a pretty affordable black lab, registered lab." She actually had a decent pedigree as far as $100 lab goes. She had like show dogs in her pedigree. She didn't have any kind of hunting dogs though. And I trained her myself. I watched Freddie King YouTube videos a decade ago. I bought a couple books that I read, and those helped me out tremendously. I think Tom Dawkins comes to mind. I don't know. I'm just kind of trying to go from memory here, but I think the book was Tom Dawkins. I'll link it in the description if I'm correct here, but I'm almost positive that's it. Regardless, I'll link it. Correct or incorrect, it doesn't matter. But it's a great book. It's just a basic retriever training guide. Trained her, took her all over the place and hunted. Arkansas, North Dakota. She was a great dog. Anyway, she died this year. She died in the summer, and we knew she would. She wasn't doing well. She'd been sick for a while. It's crazy how nobody in the airport pays attention to anything else. I knew this would work. That's so funny. And also, it's kind of late. It's kind of late at night, so there's not that many people here. And I still have 3-ish hours before I have to board the plane, so my gate is just a few down, so I picked an empty one here. But so I just took those and kind of those resources that I mentioned, and that's what I used to train her. She turned out to be a killer dog. And the last 2 years I haven't duck hunted, which, if you know me, that's a big weird thing, because I duck hunt like crazy. I always have. And I've always enjoyed whitetail and bow hunting whitetail, and I've always loved to duck hunt. But the last 2 years I didn't even go. And my thought now is, as goofy as it sounds, it's like, she wouldn't want you to just bail on something you love because she's gone. And this trip was really good for me, and kind of got that drive back to maybe want another dog someday. My good friend Sam and his dad Kent went with us, and they brought their dog Bear. He's a chocolate lab, killer dog, retrieve ducks all day long, every day we were out there. They're still out there. They still got a day or two to hunt. That dog made some killer retrieves this week, and 4 years old, young dog, absolutely killed it. My buddy Larry was there. I was hoping he'd bring his dog Ike. He's got a Chesapeake Bay Retriever, but getting a little bit older, he left him home, and I totally get that. So with Sadie failing over the last couple years and getting older, having problems, having a lot of health issues, gaining weight, I just didn't even duck hunt. And so this was really good for me. This was fun. We killed so many species. This morning we had a weird thing happen. We had hundreds of spoonies, hundreds of shovelers, aka the Hollywood mallard, or whatever you want to call them. We had them everywhere. That was so weird, because in southern Ohio you never see those. You also rarely see bluebills. Maybe in January. For southern Ohio, you might see bluebills if everything's frozen up and the river's the only thing open and there's snow on the ground. You might see a bluebill. We killed a ton of bluebills. We killed some beautiful ones. We're bringing back some to mount, so that'll be cool. I'll eventually make videos of that. But I'm trying to think what other cool ducks we killed. We limited out on canvas backs 2 or 3 days, which is just 2 a person. But we found a couple can holes. There's one that we go to they go to every year. I don't go out there every year. These guys go every year, sometimes multiple times a year. But there's some great canvasback shoots. If you're in a part of the country and you never kill canvasbacks, the Prairie Pothole region is the place. North Dakota is the place. That's where they hatch. That's where they're at, man. It's something else. There's nothing like it, and there's nothing like watching a few hundred canvasbacks work a body of water. I mean, you don't see that kind of thing around home. It's very cool. What else here? Speckle bellies all over the place. The snow's just started coming in. It's the end of October. Today's October 29th. But usually they've got their influx of snows already, and they still have plenty. But this week, at the beginning of the week, we didn't see like the huge flocks. There are enormous flocks. Usually when we're out there, you just see V after V of snow geese flying overhead. And it was cool to see that here the last couple days. So hopefully they get into a nice feed tomorrow. The other weird thing about North Dakota is their moisture content has been so high because they've gotten so much rain, which is great. It's great for the ducks, great for the numbers. But it's not great for the farmers. They like to play the corn market, and we were kind of talking about that a little bit out there, and it's kind of funny. A handful, maybe 10%, have combined their corn at this point. It's the end of October. Most of them have a cut, at least, or I don't know, I would say half of them typically probably have a cut at this time. I don't know. I'm not a farming expert for North Dakota, so I'm just kind of going off of what I've seen in the past. Beginning of the week, we saw guys combining day and night, just roaming. It's just such a vast farmland. If you've never been there, it's not like anything at home. It's not like it's a whole different planet. But yeah, at the beginning of the week they were doing that, and then it dumped the rain, and it rained for 24, 36 hours. I think they got 2.5 inches of rain. So their moisture content has been blown out of the water there. My understanding, one of the guys said that he had talked to a farmer, and they said when it gets like this, they wait until it freezes. They wait till it's 10 degrees outside and everything's frozen solid. Then they'll go in and combine it when it's frozen. I don't know. I found it to be pretty difficult. We couldn't find very many cut cornfields yet, so it was tough to get on some feeds. After that rain, the birds started to move in. We started to see some. So hopefully those guys get on it tomorrow. Bear gets some more good retrieves before they've got to come back home. But, yeah, had a great trip. A lot of fun. The food is excellent. For a place that has like a restaurant every hour you drive, they're always killer. I don't even know if there's a McDonald's out there. Even driving through Bismarck, I think I saw a Little Caesars, a Chick-fil-A. There's some franchise stuff out there, but there's just these little town cafes and town diners, and oftentimes it's just one lady or one guy, and they'll take your order, and then they'll go back and cook it, then they're bringing it back to you, and then they're picking up your dishes and cleaning and it's like a one-man show or a one-family show, just a family. One place we went to there, right there in Pettibone, the Harvester's Cafe. It's Heidi. She's taking your order. She's talking to folks. She's taking the money. She's waiting the tables. Her daughter helps wait the tables. I think her son was helping wait tables, but then her husband is the cook. He's in the back cooking all the stuff. Phenomenal food. It's unbelievable how good the food is. Today we stopped at the Tuttle Cafe in Tuttle, North Dakota, and we stopped there several years ago, and this guy did everything. He'd take your order. He was probably 65, and he had kind of a funny accent, like he was maybe German or something. And then most people up there are of German descent, and so like they have a lot of schnitzel and stuff like that. But steak is their thing. They have so many cattle, so much cattle, so many cows up there everywhere. And we were talking a lot of red Angus and black Angus, but it's like these little diners and cafes, man, that is the way to do it. It's not that expensive. I mean, it's more expensive than it probably should be, but I don't blame them. It's the only place to eat in an hour drive in any direction. But it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. What else about North Dakota? A lot of posted properties. A whole lot of posted properties, which is kind of newer. From my, in my experience, if it's not posted, you can hunt it, and there's a lot of posted stuff. Another nice thing about North Dakota is they've got a ton of waterfowl production areas. It's just public land set aside just for duck habitat. You're allowed to hunt it. The other thing is you may have one place where you can access it from the road, and the ducks are going to hit 3/4 of a mile that way, and it's uphill, and there's grass and brush this high you've got to walk through, but that's the price you pay to hunt such an unbelievable place with millions and millions of birds. It's just unreal. We saw a field, and we couldn't get permission to hunt it. We've tried in the past. This landowner does not let folks hunt, and we saw 10 to 20,000 birds in one field, probably a couple 100-acre field, and that's unreal. I mean, that's unbelievable. Maybe a couple 100 acres. I can't judge distance in North Dakota. In Ohio, I could judge distance. In West Virginia, I could judge distance. Yeah, but out in North Dakota, man, it's a whole different planet. It's like, you got to turn left in a half mile, and you can see it, and it looks like it's 100 yards away. And it's not. It's a half mile away, and it's just weird. It's just so big out there and so vast, it's tough to tell distance. So, I don't know. I said it's a couple 100-acre field. Maybe it's a 2,000-acre field. I don't know. It's also late, and I'm tired and been traveling and stuff, but yeah. Have you guys sat yet? I'm assuming you're probably, it's the end of October. I'm assuming you've probably sat in a tree stand at this point. My brother bought a tree saddle, tried it out. He texted me the other night and told me to let everyone know that they're horrifying. I do not have a saddle. I'd like to try it someday, but right now I've got a couple stands in some good spots, and I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next year we'll try it. I want to try to expand out a little bit more next year. There's some public land near me that I don't think gets hunted that much, and I know that there are some big deer on it. And I think a saddle would probably be great for that. I think if you're hunting public and you're wanting to be mobile and move around, I think that'd be great. But even on our property, it'd be nice to move around a little bit more. I feel like there was something I was saying about Sadie and my dog, and I just completely lost. Oh, yeah, hunting with other people. So, yeah, during gun season last year, my dad and my brother, we hunted together. My friend Andy and I hunted together. We had a good time. And, yeah, I want to try to do a little bit more of that. I do like getting out there by myself and kind of having time to chill and stuff, but something about this trip, waking up at 4:30 in the morning with 5 other dudes and just like humping it all day, trying to get stuff done, just working your hind end off all day. Had 2 trailers out there, and we only utilized both of them one day, but there's a ton of work in that. That is one thing. If you're going to hunt out west, probably any type of hunting out west, but if you're going to duck hunt in North Dakota, it's a labor-intensive thing. You're going to want to be in some degree of shape. It's a lot of carrying heavy stuff, long distances over rough terrain, typically in waders. I wear neoprene waders. I don't mind neoprene waders. A lot of people hate them, think they're uncomfortable. I find them to be comfortable. Of course, they're very sweaty, and when you've got a half-mile walk with a sled and 250 pounds worth of stuff on it, and you're dragging it through a cow field and then into a cut cornfield and then into a slough, and you got waders on the whole time, because when you get there, you're going to walk into, belly button deep swamp water and throw decoys out. It's pretty grueling. Every day on my watch, I was hitting the 10,000 step mark, which sucks after several days. I mean, it's just exhausting after several days. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a lot of fun, but it feels like you've worked. I mean, it is not a restful vacation. This isn't an all-inclusive beach vacation. I mean, it is you're going to bed at 11 o'clock, especially when the weather's not freezing cold and there's not birds around every single corner. It's kind of like that right now. But when we first got there, it wasn't. But you're scouting like crazy. You're putting a ton of time in. You put a lot of miles in, filling up the truck once or twice a day, scouting. I mean, it's tough. We would hunt in the morning. A typical day would be you get up 4:30. Between 5 and 5:30, you're leaving the lodge and you're driving to wherever you're going to hunt, because you may drive an hour to your hunting spot. You may drive a half hour. We don't typically drive further than an hour or so. That's kind of the nice thing about where we were located is we've got some spots that's familiar to us and some good places that hold birds. But so a typical day, get up 4:30. Robbie makes us breakfast. Hit the road 5:30. Take all the dogs out. My buddy Clark brought his dog Delta. She's a Boykin, I think, but pointer dog. So oftentimes we would duck hunt in the morning, shoot as many as you can, sometime between 9:30 and 11, quit, head back, grab some lunch, let the dogs out, let them do their thing, and then we'd hit the road and scout and scout till dark, scout till you found something. And it's a lot of work, but it was very rewarding. We killed a lot of stuff. We killed golden eyes, canvasbacks, bluebills. We started getting into the mallards there at the end. Gadwall like crazy, widgeon. We usually kill some pintails. It seems like I never do, but we usually get into some pintails. But a ton of divers. If you're into divers, North Dakota's hard to beat. And if you're into field mallards, North Dakota's hard to beat. Arkansas is great for mallards. That's kind of all you're going to shoot down there, though. I mean, you might shoot a couple other puddle ducks. And you can kill anything in Arkansas, too, but it is just so predominantly mallards, at least in my experience. But North Dakota, it's a mixed bag. We killed some snows. I missed one that I certainly should have killed. And I even borrowed Robbie's 10 gauge, 3.5 inch number 2s and still missed it. And so that's kind of discouraging. But, it was fun. If you get an opportunity to do something like that, you should do it. This is the only hard part about it. This is the only kind of brutal part about it, is the travel. And part of the crew drives out, hauls out some stuff, and then the other part usually flies out. They kind of rotate who does what, so they've got a good system for that. Yeah, the traveling is probably the worst part. But the camaraderie, the stories, Larry's good at story time. He's our buddy from Tennessee, and he also was in the Army for like 20 years, and so he's got some killer stories. That makes camp fun, hunting camp. But now it's time to get into deer mode again. I've been in deer mode, but I took a little break to go kill some ducks. We killed a pile of them, and now it's time to get down to business with the whitetails. November's in 2 days. I can't believe November's here. That's unbelievable. I remember in July, it felt like it was a year away, and here it is. It's here. And I'm not ready. I don't know if you ever feel like you're fully ready, but my dad is. My dad got a new crossbow. He sat out this evening, and he's got a good spot set up. I don't think he did much good tonight, but he's going to. He's in a good spot. If you're in a good spot and you're not seeing deer, hunker down. Maybe not every day. You don't want to blow a spot up, but trust it. Watch your cameras. See what's going on. And now's the time to kill them. If you're wanting to kill a nice deer, this is a good time to do it. There's a lot of random deer running around. You don't know what's going to happen. All my buddies are sending me pictures. Look at this monster I've got. Look at this. And maybe it's here, today and 2 miles down the road tomorrow, but it's just exciting. And if you haven't tried to duck hunt, that's another cool thing about it is you don't know what you're going to get. You just don't know what's going to fly in front of you. And you probably need to figure it out before you shoot it, but that's the cool thing. It's such a mixed bag. This morning we had 6 or 7 bluebills and a few mallards, and then we had a random snow goose fly in, and then you just don't know what you're going to get. And I find that cool. And if one's got a band on its leg, that's cool too. Turkeys are fun, but there's no real aspect to that to turkeys other than like the spurs. How long's the spurs on it? You can see the beard before you shoot it. You can, but unless you kill like a melanistic one or an albino or if you travel to kill, a Miriam or something like that. I love to turkey hunt. It's right up there, man. It's one of my favorites, but that aspect doesn't apply. Ducks, you just don't know what you're going to get, and that's very cool. And in November with deer, you don't know what you're going to get, and I think that's cool. I mean, you could sit there all year and just have little babies walk by your camera all year long, but then one day you're sitting out there and here comes a 160-inch deer out of nowhere you haven't seen before. If you're in an area where you can produce those kind of animals. So I'm going to try to get out there this weekend. I'm going to probably hunt at least an evening, maybe 2. But how about you? Are you going to go out this weekend? I really hope my plane is on time. If this delay goes any longer, I'm going to lose it. Went up and asked, of course our gate people aren't here. I went over to another gate and talked to that person over there, and I asked what the problem was, why it was delayed, and the pilot's just not here. He's in town. I don't know if they can't get a hold of him. I hope he's well rested. I hope he's not, out drinking somewhere. But I just thought I'd sit down and just kind of chat a little bit about our trip. It was fun. It was a good time. Maybe I'll throw up a couple little things of it here. So we're shifting out of ducks, back into deer for November. Then after that, who knows? I don't know. I need a shave. Kind of excited about sleeping in my own bed. But that 12 point, he's going to haunt me this year. I have a feeling he's going to walk right in front of me, and I'm going to have a decision to make. And I'm not going to kill him. I've already made my mind up. And if you are on the fence about killing a deer, you got to be that way. If you leave that door open, you're going to kill him, in my opinion. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Kill whatever you want. Don't let people, especially if you've not killed a deer before. If you've not killed a big buck or you've never killed a deer with a bow and a buck walks out and it gets you excited, shoot it. Be proud of it. It's not about the points. It's not about what it scores. But if you've killed a few big bucks and you're wanting to kind of step up to the next level, which I feel like is kind of where I'm at. Killed a 151-inch deer a couple years ago. That's my biggest buck. Would love to kill one bigger than that. But if a 145 walks by or a 140, last year I killed a 137.5-inch deer, and he was a hard deer to kill. I chased him. I chased him like crazy, and it took me all season long. I didn't kill him till December. I didn't kill him till gun season. In fact, he walked in at the beginning of November, and he came in directly behind me, and I saw him way down away from me. And I turned around, grabbed my bow, had it on my lap, and he walked right under my stand. And I thought, okay, if I can let him walk 10, 15 yards past me, I could draw back, probably get a nice quartering away shot. That didn't happen. He got right under my stand. Wind was really perfect. The wind was kind of blowing this way, which is like a south, it was blowing into the southeast, and he was coming kind of southwest to northeast, and the wind was perfect, but he got under my stand, and he must have smelled me. I hadn't been in that stand for an hour, so he probably just smelled me just on the grass there, and he came up and stopped, and he just looked right up at me, and he took off. Boom, he jumps the fence. He runs 40-ish yards, and he stops broadside, and he's staring at me at 40. And as he's running, I pull back, and I had him at 40, and I thought, man, that's a long shot. I felt comfortable with it. That 151 I killed, I shot it at 38 yards, and I felt really good about the shot. There was some junk between us a little bit, but I had a little bit of a clearing, and so I let the arrow rip, and it glanced off of a little twig, boom, went straight up in the air, and ended up finding it in the dark about 300 yards further than where he was, where it glanced off that twig and got some altitude. And also shooting downhill, and it was a big hill, just a giant holler behind him. And I found that arrow at the very bottom of that holler in a creek bed. And he ran off. He saw me. He knew I was there. I knew I couldn't kill him out of that stand. And I ended up killing him during gun season. And I kind of had mixed emotions about it because I really wanted to kill him with my bow. Took my friend Andy. He'd never killed a deer before, period. He ended up killing a nice 8-point that I'd had on camera all year. And we were walking to our spot, and as we were walking, we jumped that 8-point up out of a bed, and he was bedding right on the trail. It was really weird. It wasn't like a typical bedding spot for our property. We just caught him, and he jumped up and ran, and Andy put a killer shot on him. And so then the next night, I thought, well, it's Sunday night of deer season. It's the last night of gun season for Ohio. I'll just go sit for the last hour or so. I don't know. Came home from something. We were doing something with the kids, and we got home, and I told my wife, I'm just going to run up in the woods and just kind of spend an hour and just kind of chill and, just kind of watch the sunset and just kind of meditate or whatever. And I wasn't there 20 minutes, and he just walks out. And so I shot him, and at first at first I was just pumped up about it. But then later I started thinking about it, and I started to feel like maybe I should have waited and killed him with my bow. But then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, well, who cares? I mean, I've hunted this deer hard. I earned this deer. It doesn't matter. Who cares? So, anyways, maybe that's a little bit too, I don't know, philosophical or whatever, but I just I'm trying not to give myself such a hard time over stuff. This is supposed to be fun, We do this for fun. And so I'm trying to refocus on that aspect of this and not take it so serious. Just have fun with it. So I'm proud as can be of that deer, and still pumped up about him. County Fair was his name because when I first saw him, he looked like a dandy deer. He was a nice 10-point. He looked great, but he was super thin, like his horns. He just didn't have much mass, and he wasn't real wide. He was pretty tall. And so the first year I saw him when he was like 3, I thought, he's kind of like a girl you date at the county fair. You're not going to bring her home to mom. You're not going to introduce her to the family or take her to grandma's for supper. So I probably shouldn't shoot him. So I named him County Fair to keep myself from shooting him. Because like I said earlier, if you leave that door open, I'm probably not going to shoot him. If he walks out in front of you, you're going to shoot him. So if you want to make your mind up that you're not going to, you just got to tell yourself beforehand, no matter what, I'm not going to kill this deer. And that's what I did with County Fair, and I let him go. And last year I said, okay, this is the year if I see him, I'm going to kill him. And so he finally came out, and yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. But I'm going to hop off here and walk around, maybe try to get something to eat or something. I'm still trying to decide if I should take coffee or try to nap. But yeah, that's it. En route home from North Dakota, 2025. Had a great time. Thanks to Clark and Robbie and Larry for letting me tag along, and for Cole and Jared for letting me stay at their place. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. So try to catch a plane here in a little bit. I've got two videos I'm putting together about North Dakota. One talking more about their lodge and just more about it, and then one more about the hunt itself. So I'm going to have those come out here before too long. Also, the Buckeye Hero Hunt was in October. We're still in October. The Buckeye Hero Hunt was earlier this month, 2025. If you don't know what the Buckeye Hero Hunt is, it's a killer organization. It's a great veterans charity for 100% wounded Ohio veterans. If you're a resident of Ohio and you're 100% wounded, by the VA standards, then you can apply for this hunt. And it's at the Zaleski State Forest. You stay at the Lake Hope Lodge, and it's a great facility. It's a very, very cool organization. It's a very, very cool event. It's one weekend out of the year where these veterans come down, and everything's paid for. Their food, their lodging. Each veteran gets 2 guides. My dad and I guided a vet this year named Robbie. He was a good dude. We didn't get a deer, but that place is a phenomenal place to hunt because it's not open to the public. Zaleski is, but this portion isn't. I think it's like I don't know how many acres it is that the vets hunt. There's 2 kind of chunks, and the chunk we hunt's 400 acres that's fenced off, never been hunted other than this one weekend out of the year for the last 10 years for the vets. And so there's some monsters walking around there. So I've got a video that I'm putting together for that I'm going to put out soon. I know I haven't put out much lately, but I've just been busy doing this kind of stuff and trying to film stuff and put it together to put out there. But if you're still watching, thanks, I appreciate it. That's crazy if you're still watching. But yeah, that's kind of the Minneapolis airport ramblings of a very tired dude. And yeah, ready to see my kids and hang with them for a little bit. Trick or treat is going to be lit. We're going as the Adams family. I'm going to have to shave up a little bit here, kind of curl the stash. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Good luck hunting. Be safe. I will say one really sobering thing happened our first day up there. A guy not 20 miles from where we're hunting, a 57-year-old man from Knoxville, Tennessee, drowned in a lake in North Dakota. It was 40-mile-per-hour winds that morning with like 50, 60-mile-per-hour gusts. And the body of water we were hunting had 3-foot-tall whitecaps on it. Maybe not 3 foot. But it was treacherous. And even sending the dog in there was kind of spooky at times. But, the dog was safe, and we could always get to the dog where we were hunting. You could wade out and get to him if you needed to. But this guy was hunting a deep, huge lake with terrible, terrible whitecaps, and they had a crippled bird out there, and I think he was chasing in a kayak, and a wave hit him, and kayak flipped, and he drowned. Probably wearing waders. Such a dangerous thing. So be safe. Don't fall out of a tree stand. Wear your harness. And if you're duck hunting on the water, wear a life jacket or have them close to you, whatever. Just be careful. It kind of had a shadow of sadness somewhat to the week, knowing that had happened so close to where we were. And I don't think any of our wives found out while we were there. So that's solid. That's good news. Didn't want to freak everybody out, but stay safe. Good luck. Kill a big deer. And or kill a small deer, whatever you want. But thank you. Appreciate it. Cheers.